All right, just gonna record a quick trade recap here. How I made money, I guess. Weird day for me. So today we were coming in. We had a big displacement down. Although, let's go to the 4 hour here. We did just take out this low, this 4 hour swing low, and then we're still in this high time frame fair value gap. Um, Came into the day here is 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We will drop down to the 30 minute because we left this unfilled 30-minute gap above. We left London high above that and Asia high all the way up there. So drop down to the 15-minute. This was market open right around here. And what I wanted to see was um, these equal highs here and here. I wanted to see that get hit. So for that to happen, I wanted to see a sweep of this low, as well as ES also had this low, which was SMT'd right here. And then uh, I wanted to see ES go down, but NQ did the job for ES, which ideally both just do it. We just don't have an SMT in my eyes, so then that doesn't give ES a reason to go lower. So we'll drop down to the lower time frame. Um, Here we had a 5 minute fair value gap that opened after market open, which we were somewhere around there. So market open, we had this big move down, and then we chopped for a little bit, and then we had a move lower, swept out the low that I wanted to see. ES moved down, didn't really even come near. It somewhat came near, but it didn't, you know, make another relative equal low with it. Um, and then it's really started to displace really quick, actually. Um, ES started displacing. We had this accumulation, and then we manipulated down. If you There's no 1 minute fair value gap, so if you drop down to the 30-second, we have this 30-second right here that opened, and then we closed above here, stop at this low, and then I waited a little bit to take this inverse just because ES, I wanted to see how ES was going to react. I wanted to see how NQ was going to react. And we had this move down. So I knew if we push back up, we're most likely going to continue higher and not just continue chopping after manipulating one time. If we typically don't accumulate, manipulate, accumulate. That doesn't really happen. Either we're going to accumulate and fail or accumulate, manipulate, and distribute. And that's what typically will happen. So we had another move up. And at that time, if you see, this was that candle. Let's go to the 30-second even. Right here. So this candle right here is the one that was moving up. And as you can see, ES is going through this level. It's not hesitating whatsoever. We're just starting to fly through this level. Even on this candle here, this was right after I entered. I still see ES is still climbing, where ES is the one that, in my head wants to be able to go lower and take out those lows. But if ES is starting to displace through those levels, then NQ's going to be ready to go. And that's exactly what we got. We had a huge spike up, one break even here, and then held to these equal highs. My biggest mistake of today was not copy trading it across my accounts. So therefore, I only made $500 instead of what would have been $9,400. But that's okay. We live to fight another day. Since I did miss that trade and I was still thinking London High could possibly be the draw, um, we left a 5 minute fair value gap here that we tapped into. Got a huge displacement through that, which was wonderful to see. So I entered on, there was also a 1 minute gap that was left. So I entered on the close of here, put the stop all the way down here, targeting an almost 1 to 1, a little bit more positive. And then so that's what I was targeting. I entered, but then I closed early because I needed to reevaluate, and then so I closed for a little bit of a loss, and then re-entered when we moved up higher. Thought to myself that I just don't want to be in this right now, and also if we're gonna go, we just want to go. So I exited that, but then I entered one more time because I was, in my head still break even on two of those trades. I entered on another 30-second gap right here, which also had good displacement. I was happy with this trade. It got me a lot better risk to reward as well. And then went break even at this high. We went up over 20 points, so went break even and it would have lost. So happy that I went break even there. I lost a little bit of money. Looking back on it, I probably should have just got off for the day after I took my winning trade on my one funded account. Um, but the other ones I'm down $92, so nothing nothing crazy whatsoever. Not a full bar or anything. Yeah, not a bad day. Would have been the best day of my life, trade of my life so far if it was copy traded across all the accounts. But it is what it is. Move on to the next day. At least I built up a buffer on this one. At least I didn't take an L and it wasn't copy traded. So that's the trade of the day.